Developing at 5, for maybe the last time, convicted killer Alex Murdaugh shuffled into a South Carolina courtroom wearing a prison jumpsuit instead of the suit he used to wear. He was sentenced to 40 years in federal prison. This time for stealing from his clients and his law firm. The 55-year-old disbarred attorney is already serving a life sentence without parole in a state prison for killing his wife and son. He also pleaded guilty to similar financial crimes in state court. Before his sentencing today, Murdaugh apologized again to his victims and blamed drugs, but a judge says his schemes were too complex for an addict. The defense asked for a lighter sentence, comparing Murdaugh to Sam Bankman-Fried, but lawyer Eric Bland says there was a big difference.
These victims were not investing money. They lost their loved ones. They lost their son. They lost their mother. And Alex Murdaugh took advantage of that. And in the pantheon of career criminals, he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes into this conversation. I mean, Khalif, he's already serving jail for the rest of his life. But what does this sentencing mean for Alex Murdaugh?
I mean, it means that he won't be going anywhere anytime soon, even if he somehow was able to win his appeal for the case. Was his defense team has already leveraged an appeal. They've attempted to do that a number of times. And so what you can look at is a couple of things. The judge wanted to send a message. He wanted to send a message that you can't take from folks when they're at their weakest moment. And then the attorneys there that represents a number of the victims said it better than I could ever say it. He'll be on the Mount Rushmore, right there smack dab in the middle, because they tell you in law school, if you want to lose your license, take folks' money, commingle funds, and take money that doesn't belong to you. And so these people had, been victims of the worst type of crime. And you're not investing. You're not looking to put your money and look for some get-rich scheme. You were expecting that this attorney who you thought would counsel you, that would give you advice in your darkest time, would manage your money, would manage their inheritance to the best of his ability. And what did he do? He took it and used it for his own gain. And so I totally agree with the judges going and deviating from even what the prosecutor was asking.
You also saw Gloria Satterfield's relative at the stand there as the attorney was speaking, one of the victims of Alex Murdaugh. But he also recently failed a polygraph test. What was the point of having him take a polygraph test? And from my understanding, they were trying to use that against him to take away a plea deal? Well,
what they're trying to figure out is, were you truthful in all of the money that you've taken? Well, I've admitted to taking...
We already know he's a liar. I mean, you saw it in court.
100%. But a part of the negotiated plea was that we don't know how much money was out there. So our forensic investigators may have found that you've taken $30 million or $40 million. But we want to know, well, was there any more? And part of his plea, part of his defense team's strategy was, we'll get him on a polygraph to admit that this is all that I've taken. Well, obviously, if you failed the polygraph, it shows that there was more money out there. They've already found that there was $8+ million more that he didn't admit to already. And so I would double down on your point that his history, in recent history and past history, shows that he's someone that cannot be truthful. But I was not expecting him to do well on the polygraph, because he lied about the murder incident situation. He lied about the financial situation, and he's continued to lie. And so nothing from his past would say that he would be a truthful person. It was exactly how I thought it would land.
Yeah, he lied pretty well, too. I mean, you saw it in his facial expressions that almost like he believed the lies that he was telling. Going back to this, sentencing, at this point, some might think, why bother?
Right.
He's already going to jail for the rest of his life. Why would you keep this in the courts? How, as an experienced attorney, can you kind of spell that out for us?
Again, it's all within the judge's discretion. And so the DA wanted 30 years. The judge went outside of that, and they have to, when they deviate and go outside of the structured sentencing range, it's because they want to send a message, and they have to show support to why. He said, look, he targeted these victims. This wasn't something that was a one-off that he did on accident. He individually and intentionally went after the most vulnerable people in our society. And the only way that I can show that this is something that we can't do going forward is I'm going to go above the recommended range that the prosecutor was asking for. And so I commend the judge for making sure he did that today to show that this is something that we can't have happen in our society.
And lived a life of luxury because of it for at least the time that he had it. Khalif, thanks for breaking that all down for us.